Change your mind, change your life. It is a simple statement, yet it carries a profound power, one that too many overlook in the struggle to find success and happiness. I want you to feel this truth deep down, because your mind is the sacred soil where the seeds of your destiny either grow tall or wither away. The frustration you may feel today, that sense of being trapped in a cycle of negative thoughts or limiting beliefs, is the result of old wiring patterns of thought that have been cultivated over years and have taken root. Yet, the mind is also a battlefield, a place of stewardship where every thought, every choice, shapes your character and your future. Imagine standing at the edge of a great field, fertile and waiting. What you plant in that field determines the harvest you will reap. Sow seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation, and your life will reflect barrenness and frustration. But plant seeds of courage, faith, and vision, and your life blossoms into extraordinary success. Your mind, like that field, can be tilled and prepared anew, rewired for growth, prosperity, and joy. This transformation begins with understanding the laws that govern this inner work. Today, we will uncover those laws, the timeless principles that allow you to reshape your mental wiring and open the door to the life you desire. Mental rewiring is the process of deliberately replacing the limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns that have held you captive with empowering, truth-filled beliefs that fuel success and happiness. This law reveals that your mind is not a fixed entity. It is a living, adaptable system, capable of transformation through intention and discipline. Too often, people believe that success depends on luck, circumstances, or innate talent myths that keep them trapped in resignation. But success is not chance. It is a product of the thoughts you cultivate and the mental wiring you nurture every day. Consider the sculptor standing before a rough slab of marble, envisioning the masterpiece hidden within. With patient, purposeful strokes, the sculptor chips away the excess, reshaping the raw stone into art. Or think of the gardener who tills and tends the soil before planting seeds, knowing that careful preparation yields a fruitful harvest. Your mind is like that marble and that soil, raw potential shaped by your choices, your awareness, and your commitment to change. Philosophically, your thoughts shape your character, and your character shapes your destiny. This is not mere theory. It is a law as real as gravity. Theologically, renewing the mind is an act of obedience and growth, a faithful stewardship of the faculties you have been entrusted with to become more than you are. So, as we embark on this journey of mental rewiring, keep in mind that it is a law, a principle, that cannot be ignored without consequence. Your success and happiness hinge on your willingness to engage with these laws and to practice them daily. Let me introduce you now to the 5 key laws that govern this profound transformation. The first law of mental rewiring is awareness. Without awareness, you cannot change what you do not see. The patterns of thought and belief that have governed your life for years are often so deeply embedded they operate below the level of conscious notice. Yet, if you want to reshape your mind for success, the first step is to bring these mental circuits into the light of conscious understanding. This is no easy task, for it requires honesty, courage, and a willingness to face uncomfortable truths about your current mental wiring. It is a challenge to recognize the thoughts that limit you, the doubts you silently entertain, the fears you try to ignore, and the excuses you habitually make. Imagine trying to navigate through a dense fog without a compass or clear sight. The fog is your unawareness of the thoughts that steer your decisions and reactions. Clearing that fog is the work of awareness, and it requires tools like journaling and self-examination. When you take time to write down your thoughts, to reflect on recurring themes and beliefs, you begin to see the invisible wiring that directs your life. Awareness is not a one-time event, but a continuous process of observing and understanding your inner landscape. The emotional weight of this process can be heavy. Facing your own limitations and past mistakes is uncomfortable. Yet, this clearing is necessary, for only when the soil of your mind is cleared can new seeds take root and grow. Theologically, awareness is an act of stewardship, accepting responsibility to tend the garden of your mind faithfully and to become a more effective steward of the life you have been given. This first law invites you to pause, to look inward without judgment, and to prepare for the transformative work ahead. Only through awareness can you begin to choose a new path and build the extraordinary life you desire. The second law in rewiring your mind is choice, a powerful, sometimes overwhelming truth that you have the freedom and responsibility to choose your thoughts. Awareness lays the groundwork by revealing your current mental wiring, but choice is the gateway to transformation. You stand at a crossroads, faced with the decision to remain bound by old, limiting beliefs, or to step boldly into the freedom of new, empowering thoughts. This law reminds us that while circumstances may shape our experiences, they do not have to dictate our mindset. The mind is a field of battle where victory belongs to those who decide, each moment, to choose wisely. Consider the story of a prisoner who, despite chains and walls, found the key to his own liberation within his mind. He realized that while his body was confined, his thoughts could be free, and in that freedom, he discovered the strength to transform his life. Similarly, you have the power to unlock your own chains by consciously selecting the thoughts that serve your growth and success. The emotional weight of this law lies in embracing full responsibility. It demands you leave behind victimhood, the habit of blaming others or circumstances, and to become the empowered decision-maker of your life. Theologically, this law echoes the principle of free agency, the sacred trust of being endowed with the ability to choose. It is an act of stewardship over your God-given faculties to respond faithfully and intentionally to life's challenges. Choosing new thoughts is not a passive wish, but a deliberate act of obedience to your highest self and potential. Practically, this law requires you to exercise vigilance over your inner dialogue and to decide moment by moment what to believe and nurture in your mind. This choice is the turning point, the moment you claim the authority to rewrite the story you tell yourself and to begin living the extraordinary life you were meant to live. The third law of mental rewiring is consistency, a principle that underscores the immense power of repetition in reshaping your mind. It is not enough to be aware of limiting beliefs or to make a single decision to change your thinking. The mind is like a path through a forest. Each time you walk the same route, the trail becomes clearer and easier to follow. Similarly, every time you repeat empowering thoughts and affirmations, you strengthen new neural pathways, gradually replacing the old, worn grooves of negativity. This law reveals why so many people struggle. They seek instant transformation but neglect the steady, patient work of daily mental discipline. Imagine the relentless force of water carving a solid rock over centuries. The drops alone seem insignificant, but together they sculpt canyons and shape mountains. This metaphor perfectly illustrates consistency. Your daily mental habits, whether affirmations, focused reading, or reflection, are the drops that, over time, break down the barriers of old conditioning and shape the new landscape of your mind. Emotionally, this law moves you from the initial struggle and frustration of change to a steady progression, a rhythm where your new mindset takes root and flourishes. It teaches patience and perseverance, reminding you that success is not a one-time event but a lifetime journey of consistent choices. Theologically, consistency is a reflection of faithfulness, a trait honored throughout Scripture as the mark of maturity and obedience. To be faithful in small things, to persevere in the daily disciplines of thought and attitude, is to honor the potential you have been given and to participate actively in your own transformation. Practically, consistency means building daily routines, speaking positive affirmations, reading uplifting material, and setting aside moments for reflection. These practices become the steady pulse of your rewiring process, ensuring that over time, your new mind is not only formed, but becomes your natural way of being. The fourth law of mental rewiring is guarding an essential discipline that protects the delicate new wiring forming in your mind from the corrosive influence of negative thoughts, toxic associations, and harmful environments. You have begun the noble work of clearing old patterns, choosing empowering beliefs, and consistently reinforcing these through repetition. But this new mental architecture is vulnerable, especially in its early stages, to erosion and sabotage. Guarding your mind means recognizing the power you have to control what you expose yourself to, understanding that your associations, the media you consume, and the thoughts you entertain all act as forces that either strengthen or weaken your newfound mental wiring. Think of a fortress built around a priceless treasure. The fortress must be vigilant, with strong walls and watchful guards to protect what lies within. Without this vigilance, the treasure is vulnerable to thieves and destruction. Your mind is that fortress, and the wiring you build is the treasure. The myth that I can't control my thoughts is just that, a myth that surrenders your power and invites defeat. You must take command, choosing carefully what voices you listen to and what images you allow to dwell in your inner world. Emotionally, this law demands courage and discipline to reject the easy pull of old habits and the negative influences that seek to drag you back into mental captivity. Philosophically, Guarding your mind reflects a commitment to stewardship that acknowledges the preciousness of your mental life. Theological wisdom underscores this responsibility, teaching that you are the gatekeeper of your own heart and mind, accountable for what you allow to take root there. Practically, this law invites you to curate your environment with intention. Surround yourself with positive influences, limit exposure to harmful media, and regularly examine your thoughts for any that threaten to unravel your progress. This vigilance ensures that your mental rewiring does not merely begin but endures, fortifying you for the extraordinary life you are building. The fifth and final law of mental rewiring is integration, the vital process by which your new beliefs, thoughts, and attitudes become more than just ideas. They become the fabric of your identity, guiding your actions, decisions, and daily life. You have become aware of your current mental wiring, chosen to change it, practiced consistently, and guarded your mind with vigilance. But the journey is not complete until these new mental pathways are fully integrated into your behavior, transforming who you are at the core. Integration is the moment the sculptor steps back from the statue, not merely admiring the work but living through its beauty and form. This law teaches that true transformation is holistic and embodied. It is not enough to think differently, you must live differently. Your new mental wiring must translate into consistent habits, values, and choices that align with your vision of success. Emotionally, this integration brings clarity and confidence, a harmony between what you believe and what you do. It shapes your identity, allowing you to face challenges with a steady heart and to attract opportunities in resonance with your renewed mind. Philosophically, it represents the unity of thought and action, the wholeness of character that is the hallmark of true success. Theologically, integration is an act of faithful obedience. It reflects a deep commitment to becoming more than you were, to fulfilling the stewardship entrusted to you by living in harmony with divine principles. This law calls for continual self-examination and the courage to refine your life so that your daily conduct mirrors your highest beliefs. Practically, it means living out your new philosophy through deliberate action, making choices that align with your values, modeling your renewed mindset in relationships, and embracing responsibility for the life you are creating. Integration is the culminating act of mental rewiring, turning new thoughts into a new life and unlocking the extraordinary potential that awaits you. Now that we have explored the laws that govern the rewiring of your mind, let us turn to the practical daily practices that make this transformation a lived reality. The first and foundational practice is the disciplined use of affirmations and positive self-talk. These are simple yet profoundly powerful phrases and statements you repeat to yourself regularly to shape your internal dialogue and replace the old, limiting scripts that may have dominated your mind. Affirmations are the daily watering of the seeds planted in your consciousness, nurturing new beliefs until they take root and flourish naturally in your thoughts and actions. Imagine the steady rhythm of a drumbeat. Each repetition not only marks time, but builds momentum and unity within the rhythm. Affirmations work in a similar way, creating a consistent beat that synchronizes your mind's messaging toward success and confidence. This practice calls for intention and sincerity. You must choose affirmations that resonate deeply, that speak to the person you desire to become, and that challenge the negative self-talk that might otherwise undermine your progress. Emotionally, affirmations fuel hope and courage, silencing the inner critic and replacing doubt with conviction. They are not magic spells, but deliberate, disciplined acts of self-direction. Theologically, affirmations align with the stewardship of your mind and spirit. They are verbal commitments that honor the potential within you and the call to grow in wisdom and character. To practice affirmations daily is to declare your faith in your capacity for change and to participate actively in your own transformation. Practically, start with a few carefully chosen statements, phrases like, "I am capable," "I am growing stronger every day," or "success flows through my disciplined mind." Repeat these aloud each morning and evening, or whenever negative thoughts arise. This steady, loving repetition builds new neural pathways, rewiring your mind toward the extraordinary life that is your destiny. The second daily practice that fortifies your mental rewiring is the intentional commitment to reading and self-education. Feeding your mind with uplifting, empowering, and principle-driven ideas is like providing rich, fertile soil for the new thoughts you are cultivating. Without nourishment, even the strongest seed cannot sprout and grow. The same is true for the mind. Reading daily is not just acquiring information, it is the deliberate expansion of your personal philosophy, the broadening of your perspective, and the sharpening of your intellectual and emotional faculties. Picture a tree reaching upward, its branches stretching wide because its roots dig deep into nourishing earth. Your mind, like that tree, needs constant renewal through fresh insights and truths. When you read with purpose, absorbing wisdom from those who have walked before you, you align yourself with a legacy of success, character, and growth. Emotionally, this practice awakens curiosity, hope, and confidence, dispelling the fog of confusion and negativity that can cloud your thinking. It is a habit that requires discipline because it demands time and focus, but the payoff is immense. A mind strengthened, a philosophy refined, and a spirit invigorated. Theologically, reading and self-education are acts of stewardship over the faculties given to you, a faithful response to the invitation to grow in wisdom and maturity. They honor the potential within you and reflect obedience to the call to be transformed. Practically, make reading a daily ritual, even if only for 15 to 30 minutes, choosing books, articles, or audio material that inspire and challenge you to think differently. This continuous intake of truth and insight compounds over time, reshaping your mental wiring and equipping you to live the extraordinary life you envision. The third daily practice essential to rewiring your mind is the habit of journaling and reflection, an intentional pause that allows you to capture your thoughts, emotions, insights, and progress as you journey toward transformation. Journaling is more than writing words on paper. It is a sacred act of self-examination and stewardship that brings clarity to the swirling currents of your mind. Through the discipline of daily reflection, you create a mirror for your thoughts, revealing patterns, uncovering limiting beliefs, and tracking the evolution of your mental wiring over time. Imagine standing at the edge of a still lake at dawn, the surface perfectly reflecting the sky above. Journaling serves as that reflective surface for your mind, allowing you to see clearly what lies beneath the surface: your fears, your hopes, your struggles, and your triumphs. This clarity is the fertile ground from which change springs. For how can you change what remains hidden? Emotionally, journaling provides a safe space to release doubts and frustrations, to celebrate victories both large and small, and to foster gratitude for growth. It slows down the relentless pace of life and creates room for thoughtful consideration, turning fleeting thoughts into conscious awareness. Theologically, this habit honors the stewardship of your inner life, acknowledging that your mind and spirit are worthy of careful tending and accountability. Reflection is an act of humility, a willingness to be honest with yourself and to invite growth. Practically, set aside a few minutes each day to write about your mental journey, what thoughts challenged you, what new beliefs you are cultivating, and what steps you will take tomorrow to reinforce your rewiring. Over time, this disciplined practice will deepen your self-awareness, strengthen your commitment, and empower you to navigate your transformation with wisdom and grace. The fourth daily practice in rewiring your mind is the careful and deliberate choice of your associations, the people you allow to influence your thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. This habit is often underestimated, yet it holds tremendous sway over your mental wiring. The law of iron sharpens iron teaches us that the quality of your closest relationships profoundly shapes your mindset and character. Surrounding yourself with those who inspire, challenge, and encourage you is not merely beneficial. It is essential to maintaining the integrity of your new mental pathways and cultivating an extraordinary life. Picture a garden, lush and vibrant, where healthy plants thrive because they share the soil with other strong and nurturing growth. But place a fragile seedling among weeds and toxic plants, and it struggles to survive. Your mind is that seedling. The associations you keep act as the soil, providing either nourishment or poison. Emotionally, this habit demands courage and discernment, for it may require distancing yourself from long-standing relationships that no longer serve your growth. Yet, it offers the emotional uplift of belonging to a community that supports your vision and holds you accountable to your highest self. Theologically, choosing your associations is an act of stewardship, a conscious responsibility to guard the sacred mind and spirit entrusted to you. The Bible warns about the company we keep, for it can either lead us toward wisdom and life or toward folly and destruction. Practically, this means evaluating your 5 closest influences and seeking out mentors, friends, and communities that embody the principles you wish to live by. This habit strengthens your mental rewiring by surrounding you with the encouragement and challenge necessary for sustained growth, making your transformation not only possible but inevitable. The fifth and final daily practice I want to share with you is the habit of visualizing your future self, a mental rehearsal of the person you are becoming through your disciplined efforts. Visualization is a powerful tool that bridges the gap between the mind's intentions and the reality you are crafting. By vividly imagining yourself living in alignment with your new beliefs, embodying the qualities you desire, and achieving your goals, you create a compelling magnetic force that pulls you forward. This mental imagery ignites motivation, builds confidence, and strengthens the neural pathways that support your transformation. Imagine an artist before a blank canvas, painting not what is, but what could be, a masterpiece born from vision, patience, and skill. Similarly, when you visualize your future self, you are painting a mental portrait that guides your thoughts and actions. This habit calls for a daily investment of time and attention, imagining in detail how you think, act, and feel as the person you aspire to be. Emotionally, visualization stirs excitement and hope, dissolving the fog of doubt and making the future feel tangible and attainable. It turns abstract dreams into concrete realities waiting to be claimed. Theologically, visualization is an act of faith and stewardship, trusting in the potential given to you and actively participating in the divine process of growth and renewal. It honors the call to become more than you are by aligning your spirit with a higher purpose and vision. Practically, spend a few moments each day in quiet reflection, imagining yourself living your extraordinary life with clarity and joy. See the details, the confidence in your posture, the calmness in your decisions, the satisfaction of your achievements. Let this vivid picture inspire and direct your daily choices. Through visualization, you harness the creative power of your mind to bring forth the extraordinary life awaiting you. Now, I want you to make this moment a turning point, a declaration that you are the master of your mind and the architect of your destiny. This transformation you seek, this rewiring of your mental patterns, is not a mystery or a gift reserved for others. It is your responsibility, your privilege, and your sacred task. Your mind is the soil, the fertile ground from which the fruits of success and happiness grow. You must cultivate it with intention, discipline, and faithfulness. Remember the words, rewire, renew, rise. These are not mere slogans, but a call to deliberate action, a mantra for the journey ahead. Imagine yourself a year from now. Who will you be if you begin this process today? Will you still be entangled in the old patterns of thought that have limited you? Or will you stand transformed, living a life shaped by empowering beliefs and steady discipline? This future is not left to chance. It is the natural consequence of the choices you make now, of the thoughts you nurture daily, and the habits you form. I believe in your power to change. I believe in the capacity within you to reshape your mind, your character, and your life. The path may not be easy, but it is certain and rewarding. So take this charge seriously and embrace your role as the steward of your mental life. The extraordinary life you desire begins within the mind, the gateway to your destiny. Choose today to take control, to engage fully with these laws, and to practice these daily habits that will lead you to success beyond your current imagination. The power is yours. The time is now. Rise up and claim the life waiting for you. Before we part, I want to leave you with a simple but profound ritual, one that will anchor you daily in this new way of thinking and living. Tonight, take a moment to choose one of the laws or daily practices we have discussed, one that resonates with you, and commit to focusing on it tomorrow. Write this commitment down, make it visible, and carry it with you as a reminder of the choice you have made to rewire your mind. Each morning, begin your day with this affirmation. Today, I renew my mind and reclaim my life. Speak it aloud with conviction, allowing it to set the tone for your day and remind you of the stewardship you hold over your thoughts and actions. This ritual is your personal declaration that you will no longer drift, but will engage actively and deliberately in your mental transformation. It is a recognition that your mind is your most precious resource, and that through disciplined care and faithfulness, you will create an extraordinary life. Remember, you are not late to begin. The opportunity to change your life through the rewiring of your mind is here and now, waiting for your decision and your daily commitment. So let us go forward together, stepping confidently into the future you are shaping with each thought, each choice, each small habit.